So today we are cleaning up the warehouse and talking about new developments in the photographic world. I moved out of my old office, as you can see in this video here, quite a long time ago. Well, not that long ago. And well, all of it has ended up here. This is where it all is. The books, the cards, the calendars, the posters, pallets, and upstairs. Kept a lot of stuff, most of it really. Got a massive job to clear out some of it. But first, we've got to get this big door here open. G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so very good to see you. Today we're going to talk about the news, but we're going to talk about the news across the photographic industry. Little bits and pieces that have taken my interest. So let's jump into it. Firstly, I want to talk about Pentax. Now, we don't talk about Pentax very much, but there is a rumor that the K3 version 3 will be coming very, very soon. Now, late last year, it was suggested by Pentax that the K3 version 3 would be out around February this year. Now, this is one of the last remaining newly created DSLRs. For example, from Canon, we've had the 1DS Mark III, was it? And we've had the D780 from Nikon, also last year, as well as the D6. How many more DSLRs will we see? But at this stage, it sounds like Pentax are going to hang in there with their mount and with the current DSLR lineup. Based on the Petapixel article, which was based on someone looking at an early review copy of the K3 version 3, there were things like highly improved autofocus, 12 frames per second shooting, and the autofocus was suggested to be in the realm of current DSLR tracking. That's a fantastic effort by Pentax. Also included now is 4K video. Another piece of interesting data on this camera is that it has an ISO maximum setting of 1.6 million. Now that is pretty insane. On this particular article, there was no mention of what the megapixels would be on this APS-C sized sensor. We look forward to hearing more about the launch of this camera. I would love to hear in the comments anybody who is using a semi-current or current Pentax. I love Pentax. Pentax were my first ever SLR, with the classic Pentax K1000 being my first camera. After that I bought one called the P30, and then after that I bought another one called the SFXN in the early to mid 90s. Let's hope for Pentax users that this new DSLR is coming very, very soon. And I would love to give it a test drive just to see what sort of features they put in a DSLR in 2021. What I'm wanting to do is move the drying rack up against the wall because it's quite a large volume. It's kind of making other things difficult. I used to be able to drive my van in here. So what we're doing now is moving the big drying rack. I don't know, it weighs a couple of 100 kilos. I'm gonna get it up against the wall here just to give us a bit more space in the opening. There it is, that's in place. That's a good spot. Opens up the access, and I've just found something on the ground over here, which I'd lost. This is one of the mounts for the Joby tripod. Very happy to find that. Also in the news, a new Nikon battery has been registered in Russia. It is an EN-EL18D. Now we've had the EN-EL18C, which was the sort of battery that you would see in the D5 and the D6. I think it probably also works in a D4. I think they all have the same form factor. And the theory is that this battery is for the Z9. Now, for regulations, this battery needs to be registered, and the fact that it's been registered now would suggest, I suppose, that testing of the Z9 in various parts of the world might be just about to happen. This is an exciting development, a new battery has in the past for all different manufacturers signified that the camera that goes with this battery is not too far away. I'm very excited to hear this battery has been registered and the Z9 being imminent. What great news. This is the Epson 11880 64-inch printer. It does luster, canvas, cotton rag. Strangely enough, the drying rack here is where I am storing some of my kind of archival stuff. This was a sample. So this image was photographed on the Nikon D70 back in 2004 and printed, I think, with the Epson 7800 back in 2006. This print here is 15 years old and it looks so good because it's on cotton rag and it's with beautiful archival inks. Things look just as good on luster as well, and they do last for a long time. Jump on my website, get yourself a print, I'll sign it and everything. In further news, although this is not really news, but there's a great article written by Alec Griffin. He has a blog site of his own where he talks about the fact that he has delved and dived into how lenses are made by all the different photographic companies. Now, I'm not going to say anything definitive about what his article is, but basically what it suggests is that there's a lot of sharing and similar ideas and companies who use sub-companies to help design lenses. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of sharing and so on that goes on behind the scenes. This article also talks about the fact that when it comes to the fabrication of sensors and the sharing of ideas and IP and equipment and so on, that these companies are all working together behind the scenes to get their products out. It helps us all understand more how the marketing wars are very separate from the actual manufacturing of all of this equipment. It's probably logical to think that the marketing departments are very separate from the manufacturing departments, and the way they behave is very, very different. I think it's a great article. I will put a link in the comments below so you can have a read. There's another great read if you're interested in reading and delving into a little bit about how technology comes about and so on. A community member by the name of Jeff Byers has pointed out a great thread on DP Review talking about Nikon sensors, primarily about the Z9 and where he theorizes it's probably being made and how it's being designed, and also talking about the fact that there are multiple fabrication plants that make these sensors, and also talking about the fact that Nikon make the equipment that help to make the fabrication equipment for sensors and so on and so forth. It's a theoretical article based on fact and then theory as to what's going to be happening next. I will also put a link below to that one because I think it's a good read. I thought I'd show you this. I think I might throw it away. I've had it a while. In 2003, I produced my first calendar, the 2004 calendar. This is what it looks like, and I decided to make a movie-esque style poster to advertise it to the world and to go into shops, and they sure did take it. It was great, and this is it. So I've held on to this, what is that, 18 years. It's a long time. Kind of cool. Another really interesting announcement is from Sigma, who of course are not really known for making that many cameras these days. They've just announced the Sigma FP-L. Now this is the smallest full frame 35mm body on the market today, but what's even more amazing about the Sigma is the fact that it has a 61 megapixel sensor in it. This is the same sensor that is in the Sony A7R IV. Now, what are Sigma up to here? They basically say that this is a video-centric camera, yet it has a sensor like this in it. Whereas I would have thought a video-centric camera is something that looks more like the Sony a7S III, where it's 12 megapixels. Those megapixels match what is required for 4K, and that makes a lot of sense. Sigma know what they're doing here, and they have their loyal customers. This will be aimed at them. It's 35mm, it's 61 megapixels, and it's $3,000 without an EVF. If you want to get the EVF, it's about $3,800 US. And the camera does look a little bit bizarre once you put that on the side of it. But I suppose the whole idea here is that you can have a modular camera. And perhaps that is something that we should all think about a little bit more. What could a modular camera mean to us? The Sigma, 61 megapixels in the smallest 35mm body. Please let me know in the comments below if this is something that you are interested in. So that's it, everybody. That is the news for this week. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Of course, Canon and Sony are also doing a great deal. We know Sony have released a lot of lenses in the last couple of weeks, as well as the A1 not that long ago, and now it's starting to get into people's hands. Very exciting stuff going across the industry. And of course, the R1 rumored. I wonder when we will hear more formal things about the Canon R1. Thank you so much for being here today. It has been absolutely fantastic to see you. If this is your first time here, I would love to see you again, so please do subscribe. Please share this video. Please like. And if you'd like to see over 300 episodes right now, just check out down there. And this weekend, we're going to drop the Viltrox 85mm 1.8 versus the Nikon 85mm 1.8S video. Gosh, it's an opus, but it's really interesting, and I think you'll like to see this video. Can you make do with third-party glass, which is half the price? You better watch the video to find out. All right, I will see you very, very soon. And I've got a warehouse to clean up.